Gotta do it because it's such a good thing to do. Wheel stud conversion on these cars, if you're taking the wheels on an awful lot, do it. Did it on my BMW M2. Wish I did it so much sooner. Just it sucks with the stupid wheel bolts. So anyway, just stud conversion. So what do we have here? I got a stud conversion kit from Pelican Parts. Bought that the other day. Loctite 263. So this is the one you're going to need heat to get it off. And then we're going to... that is a Ramset. This is just a hole cleaning brush I picked up at the hardware store. So that one's from Ramset. But any just crisp one, because we need it fairly rigid to get into those holes to clean out the anti-seize. So we got some brake cleaner to squirt in the holes and squish it around too. So yeah, you want to clean those holes out because Porsche uses anti-seize in there and it's going to affect the binding of your Loctite. So that's our nuts, bag of studs, torque wrench. And on that, I've got a 5mm hex. You're going to need that because you torque them in, but that's what holds them in there with the Loctite. And then, of course, it's just a wheel socket to take it off. Now, I'll put a couple links in the description of the of my video here for those. I picked those up really cheap. They got those the other day off Amazon. And you get your Loctite on there and these brushes. So I've seen all those on Amazon, quite cheap. But yeah, that definitely worth getting over there. Now, wheel studs, they look the same as so many of the other ones you see on Amazon and stuff, but I went with Rennline just because I want to make sure that they're half decent. So yeah, I made sure I know a brand I know, and then I'm gonna kind of trust those guys. I just have no idea where the other ones come from. So they could be exactly the same. One's on the M2 was from a local guy who imports a few for the BMWs, but that's what I got for this from Rennline. All right, glasses on, gloves on, make sure you're well ventilated. I'm just gonna spray it in the holes. They look pretty clean, but just want to make sure they're not super clean. Just want that anti-seize to get it out of there. So the there we go. We'll get a cloth and wipe it down. Try to get right in there, but it's pretty clean. This is coming deeper in, so we'll call that clean. Maybe we'll give it another go. Give it another go here. Cleaned it pretty good. That'll do the threads.
Sounds pretty good.
Okay, that's done. We'll go do the other side, and then it'll give it a chance to dry all that brake clean out of there. And we'll come back and bolt them in. All right, we got our holes are clean, they're all dry. We're gonna put some on our studs. And I don't want these coming out ever. So we'll put an okay amount on there and just thread them in by hand. And then we'll torque them down in a sec. So these are the ones that they call 45 mil, I think. So you run up to like a 12 mil spacer with them, which is more than I want to be using on here myself. But they stick out far enough that you get a bit of a motorsport look. Now they're just steel. You can get titanium. I didn't bother with the titanium, and I just got the steel nuts. You could put titanium nuts on the steel, I suppose, but okay, with all the studs in there, just hand tight. We'll go around, which is not a lot at all. You can see that's not much. And we'll torque them down. There's a cure time. It says you're supposed to leave it overnight. Does it have actual written hours? 24 hours to fully cure. So we'll get them all done. We'll leave it up, and then this time tomorrow we'll check the wheels on. Top tip: when you're doing the fronts, loosen off these little screws here. They are Torx. They're a T. What are they? They're a T30 Torx. It just lets the disc kind of line up and align the holes a bit better. Yeah, and then torque these down and tighten these back up. So they go to this torque. And that's it. And then, if you have someone in there, obviously you can put the parking brake or put it in the gear in the back end. That makes it a lot easier. If you don't have that, you want to get someone and put their foot on the brake, or because it's not a lot of torque, it's easy to two hands. Jam something in here. I used another wrench, another torque wrench, and then torque with the other hand to torque them down. Okay, it's the next day. Wheels are on. Haven't torqued them down yet because they're still up in the air. But look at that. That looks pretty cool. Very race car. Let's look at the back. There we go with the dished out rears. I like that. It looks nice. Anyway, but man, putting those wheels back on was so much easier. Didn't have to balance it with my toes underneath just to line up the freaking bolt holes. So yeah, do a stud conversion. I don't know why they don't, but every Porsche, every European car should have them.